Joey!
Yeah!
Oh!
You all right?
What's going on, everybody? Cyclocross season is officially here. 2011-2012 season starts now. It's Who's Number One. We're coming back to you guys with the first, only one-of-its-kind, comprehensive North American cyclocross rankings video series. It's everything right here on your home, Cycling Dirt. So let's get right to it, guys. Last Wednesday, it was Cross Vegas, so we didn't have a proper Who's Number One, so we got a lot of stuff to recap, a lot of results in the tank right now to consider. We had Nittany Lions Cross in the Mid-Atlantic kick things off, then Cross Vegas, biggest race of the year. I mean, it's Interbike, it's Vegas, everybody's there. We got mountain bikers, we got roadies, we got diehard cross fans. Everybody is there. 10,000 people screaming their heads off. Check it out in there. Link in the doobly-doo. You're going to have all sorts of links to all the coverages that we have up. We have videos from Cross Vegas. We have videos from Charm City this last weekend. We were at Green Mountain Cross. We got coverage from there. Check it out. We've also got coverage from Charm City. Tom Parsons. Tom Big Bikes Parson was down there at Baltimore. Charm City, he's got some awesome coverage from there. Ian Fields, the Brit, doing big things over here in the U.S. With no further ado, let's get to it. This is what you guys are here for, the rankings. We will start this week with the women. This weekend we went 15 deep. As the season goes, we're going to continue to grow. We're going to add more names to the list. We're going to take people off the list. If you guys followed last year, by the end of the season, I think we had something like 90 men. We were up to 60 women. So everyone asks the question, how do we rank riders? So a little background for you. It's a little bit what they did last weekend, maybe a little bit what they did last season, maybe we'll say 10% or so what they did last season, 50% what they did last weekend, 25% what we think they're gonna do next weekend, and then that sort of intangible piece there in the middle where it's by feel. Maybe someone was leading the race until the last lap and then they flatted, so they finished 7th. That's where we're different. That's where we take that sort of stuff into consideration and we give it to you how we think it is. So, with no further ado, let's get down to it. In the women this week, 15th, just making our list, Andrea Smith out of the Northeast. We got Teal Stetson Lee on there, Devin Haskell, Pepper Harleton, Leah Davison, the mountain biker for Specialized. Great ride in Vegas. Not sure we're going to see her doing much cross this season, but if she is, she's going to be good. Moving on, we got LVG, Laura Van Gilder out of the Mid-Atlantic. She's like the Steve Tilford of the women's cyclocross field, only she's still getting it done in the elite field. She's been around forever, a road pro, 300, 400 something wins, already off to a good start this season. Sue Butler off to a good start as well in the Northeast. Then we get down into the, that real crunch time, the top 6. Georgia Gould, we got her 6th, I think it's 6th this week. It's tough, guys. Vegas, she was out there, she made the lead group with Katarina Nash. She was up there, she was right on her wheel, then got dropped from Katarina Nash, then got dropped by all 3 chasers that came through, went on to finish a distant behind the leader and behind the chase group in that field. So we'll see. Not the best mountain bike worlds for her in early September. Not the best start in Vegas, although there's glimpses of the brilliance that we expect from Georgia Gould. I mean, no doubt we're going to see her moving her way up the rankings. It's just a matter of when is she going to come on to her true, her A form as the season gets going here. Moving up, we got Michael Dick in the mix up there in Washington this weekend. She had a great race at Starcross and Rad Racing, the top Canadian on the list. From there, Kelly Emmett, another mountain biker, again, like Leah Davison, probably not going to see her racing much cross this season, maybe Fort Collins, maybe a couple of the Colorado races, but for now, she's on the list. She beat those women, and she deserves to be up there. Now we get into our top 3. In 3rd place, an interesting story this year, Amy Dombrowski. She's riding for Crank Brothers. We've seen her in the past couple of years have some team drama, some fitness drama. She's been good, she's been bad. She was a roadie, she was a mountain biker. This year, good start. She's got a race win to her name. She had a great finish in Vegas. But unfortunately for us here at Cycling Dirt and for us here in North America, we're not going to be seeing her much this year. She's going to be over in Europe. New rules over there. All C1s for the men's race must also have C1s for the women's race. So something like 20 races over there for C1s for the women. It doubles the number. So she's going to be over there collecting those points and also collecting some prize money. So we'll be following her. We'll keep you guys updated. We'll keep her on the rankings still, but not going to have as many interviews with her as we have before. Top 2, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get some haters in the comments. Either way we go here, we had to give the top spot to Katie Compton. It's a respect issue, guys. She's, 7, 8, something like 30-time national champion. She, year after year after year, has been the dominant rider. She's in the mix for the World Championships. Now, that said, so is Katarina Nash. To an extent, we've seen Katie take it, over the last couple years, it's been 8 out of 10 times, 9 out of 10 times that Katie has taken down Katarina. Now, Katarina, great start to the year. She wins Vegas. She wins Starcross. She wins Rad Racing GP. Katie Compton, haven't seen her yet. We saw her at Mountain Bike Worlds not the best ride there, but it's a mountain bike race, not a cross race. And you got to think that when we see her, whether it's Madison, wherever she chooses to start her season, you got to give her the benefit of the doubt. You got to give her the respect. So for now, until somebody takes her down, Katie Compton is your number one woman rider of the week. All right, guys, moving on to the men. Now, before we get started, we got to make a special mention. One of our big sponsors this year, Greenwear. You guys know them from last year. They put a lot of love, a lot of passion, a lot of money into the sport of cyclocross when not a lot of people were. They're back this year. They're stepping up. They're continuing their support. So they're going to be supporting us all season here on Who's Number One. You guys, these are 100% compostable cups, containers, parcels. We'll talk about them more throughout the year, you guys. This thing, 100% compostable, so let's get ready. We'll talk about the men. All right, we're going to run you guys down the list real quick. We went 20 deep this week. We got Mike Garrigan on there, Dylan McNicholas, Alan Krugoff, Alex Howes, a roadie who gets up there in Cross Vegas, Ted King. You can't get more roadie than Ted King, but shows up, Green Mountain Cross, does big things, but I think he was 6th place there, so whatever, we'll put him on the list for now. We got Yannick Ekman, the Rocky Mountain sensation. This guy looking good this year as far as U23 goes in the USGP series. Justin Lindine's on there, coming off his first season as not a full-time roadie. We saw him mountain bike racing. He was at Transylvania Epic. We saw him doing local New England road races. The question with Justin Lindine is going to be, did he burn too many matches this summer, or does he have enough to go the long stretch all the way to January this year and do things in cross season? Moving on, we got Aaron Schooler on there, Kabush, a couple Canadians, Zach McDonald. See you later, Danny Summerhill. It is all McDonald this year in the U23 category here in the United States. We'll see. He's got to be the favorite going forward. The difference is going to be we've seen him do top 10 at the USGP. We've seen him do top 10 at big races. Can he step up? Can he make that top 5? Can he make the podium? Can he make it consistently? So let's see. It's going to be a big year. He's a full-time. I think he's a full-time student, at least part-time. Now your top 10. Man, this was tough, guys, especially the first week. Not a lot to go by here. We've only got about 6-7 race results to consider. Now, we call it the North American Cyclocross rankings, but sometimes you get some of these Europeans, they come over here, they spend a lot of time, so we're going to mix it up a little bit. Ian Fields, the Brit, he's over here, he's in the Mid-Atlantic, and he's just snatching up all the UCI points, all the prize money right now on the East Coast. That guy is huge. Not sure how long he's going to be in the U.S., but as long as he's here, as long as he's committed to racing and supporting cross here in the U.S., we're going to put him on our list. Chris Shepard, your top Canadian rider, in 9th, does big things at Starcross and Rad Racing. We're going to look for him to have a good year. Look for him at the Canadian National Championships this year to battle it out with Jeff Kabush. We already saw at the Mountain Bike National Championships this year, Kabush, the longtime national champ, he went down to Max Plaxton on the mountain bike. Will this be the year that he goes down to Chris Shepard, maybe Aaron Schooler on the cyclocross bike as well? All right, guys, a little bit controversial here. We got in 8th place on our rankings, we got Danny Summerhill. Now, if you look at the results only, I think he's only got one cross result to his name, and it was Cross Vegas. And if you search, you got to search pretty far down. He was down there. I think he was 33rd, 40-something. But we saw him up there, lead group, one of the top riders, almost took the whole shot. He was right behind those Euros, 3rd wheel, 4th wheel, making moves in that big group. Unfortunately, we saw him go down a slick corner. It was a wet year this year in Vegas. He takes down Tim Johnson as well, but Summerhill went down hard, had a long time getting up. I think he had to go into the pits, get a new bike, so you're not going to see him on other rankings right now. He doesn't have a great result to his name, but like Katie Compton in the women's race, we're going to give him the benefit of the doubt. The longtime U23 national champion, he looks good this year. A great road season. He looks like he's going to be ready to put in great work on the cross bike this fall. Moving forward, Jamie Driscoll. Huge move. We thought he was going to do it again at Cross Vegas. There's something about Jamie Driscoll in Las Vegas that just works. We saw him take it off the front. He was gone for 2 or 3 laps. Unfortunately, got pulled back in, but go big or go home. That's Jamie's style, and I think we're going to see him have another great year. All right, guys, we are down now to the cream of the crop, the top 6 this year in the men. Week number 1, let's get down to it. Number 6, Todd Wells. A great start to the year, coming off arguably his best mountain bike season ever. We saw 2008 was a great year for Todd with the Olympics. This year, huge results on the World Cup scene, huge result at Worlds, U.S. National Championships, the whole 9 yards. Todd Wells, we always see him. He starts well in cross. He's coming off mountain bike season well. He's going to have a bit of a break in October, but let's see. Really, we're going to know around late October, early November exactly how Wells is going to be doing. Number 5, Tim Johnson. Same issue as Danny Summerhill. Summerhill in Vegas goes down, comes into a hard right-hand corner, and slap. Summerhill goes down right in front of Johnson. Johnson goes down. I don't know if it was a broken chain or the chain went in between the spokes, but Johnson was off his bike. He was walking for at least 30 seconds, had to run it into the pits, got back on his bike, probably more than a minute behind that lead group of elite riders, and Johnson closed that gap in less than a lap and a half. So who knows? If Johnson had not got off his bike, if Johnson had not go down, that would have been one super match that he would have had to use to maybe get off the front and do big things in Vegas. So we're going to give him the benefit of the doubt. He had a little bit of a unique summer. It's his first year not racing full-time on the road. He did Leadville. He was at some mountain bike races. He did some local road races. So we'll see whether that form is going to come on any differently than it has in years past with the different preparations. But expect big things. He's Tim Johnson. He's shown it over and over again. We're going to look for him to be really big this weekend in Madison, Wisconsin. Number 4, again with the European invasion, Christian Huela. You guys know who I'm talking about. He is here this year, the Swiss rider racing full-time. He's the new Jeremy Powers. He is the new rider on the Cannondale Cyclocross World Team. He's Tim Johnson's teammate. Those two are going to be tag teaming all year. He had a great Cross Vegas, second place there. We're going to see big things. We've seen him in the past. He's been first, second, third in the first couple of races here in the U.S., usually racing through Cross Vegas or through the first USGP. Then he goes back to Europe. Not this year. He's here for the long haul. He's here for the full season. So, guys, get used to that new rider in the Cannondale Cyclocross World Kit. All right, guys, third this week on the rankings, it's Jonathan Page, your numerous-time national champion. We get to see him back in the U.S. again at the beginning of every season. Third place at Rad Racing GP, third place at Starcross. Cross Vegas, however, nowhere to be seen. 2 minutes back from the leaders. Didn't look good there, but again, we're not sure. Sometimes Jonathan Page, he's got a long season ahead of him, a lot of races, not sure what kind of form he's hoping to be in at this time of year, but third place this past weekend at both races. You guys can't deny that. We're going to see a lot of good stuff from Jonathan Page in Madison, Wisconsin this coming weekend. The home race for him and his sponsor, Planet Bike. All right, guys, that's down to it. First and second, it's going to be a lot of controversy all season long between these two riders, a couple others, but this week, as he was last year for so many weeks, the top rider is Jeremy Powers. That means Ryan Trebone, second. He was good at Vegas. He was second U.S. rider behind Powers. He was first U.S. rider out at Starcross, second behind Wellens. Sunday, though, nowhere to be seen. Just like Jonathan Page across Vegas, he was way back there, minutes back. But with Trebone, it's just part of the game. It's what you get. Sometimes you get first, sometimes you get second, sometimes you get DFL. So we got to wait. We're going to see. He's on a new team. Felt? The new team. We'll figure it out next week. But he's on the new team this year. He's really motivated. He's still trying to find a title sponsor, so look for him to do big things in the early part of the season just to try and get that attention and get things rolling, be able to make those new sponsors happy. Now, moving on to number 1. Very similar story. The new team this year, Rafa Focus. It's Jeremy Powers. He's blossomed over the year. He went from the Jelly Belly Road team to stepped it up to the big leagues, and he was with Tim Johnson and Jamie Driscoll at Cannondale Cyclocross World. This year, he's the sole leader of that program with Rafa Focus. He's the captain. He's the guy in charge and starts off the year just absolutely flying. He goes early in the year to Nittany Lions Cross down in the Mid-Atlantic. Takes a win there, goes out to Vegas. Is the animator of the race, is the top American in third place, and then again showing good form this past weekend at Green Mountain. So look for Powers. He's going to be racing a lot. Same as Trebone. He wants to get those early results in, show the media, show the fans, show the sponsors that this is his year and he's here to stay. He's been a bridesmaid more times than I know he wants to count, more times than I want to count, but second, third, fourth at Nationals. This is going to be the year. We're going to say it right now. We're going to go out on a limb. This is the year that Powers takes the national championship title. So let's see. We still got a lot of racing to go. I wouldn't feel bad to be proved wrong. There's a lot of other deserving people on this list, but Powers wants it more than anybody. All right, guys, that's it. That's a wrap on the first edition of Who's Number One. I gotta find some medium shirts for next week so I feel like I'm wearing spandex in this episode, but we will see you guys this coming up weekend. We got some big racing action. It's the Planet Bike Cup, the first Cross Vegas, it's the first big race of the year. Planet Bike Cup, it's the first big race that actually matters in terms of results, in terms of the series, the overall USGP. All right, we're also going to have coverage from the Nor'easter Cross up in Vermont. We're going to be in Rochester, New York for the UCI race there. That's it. We will see you guys back here every Wednesday, every single Wednesday of this cross season. We'll see you guys. We'll have the analysis. We'll have the rankings. We'll have some fun stuff for you. So stay tuned. We'll see you next week. And we'll see you this weekend.